All right, geometry kids, you should be on page 3. If I can get this. Yeah, you should be in page 3 of the Unit 7 packet. This is all about parallelograms. So I want you to take a second, pause me, and mark everything you know is congruent, or it looks like it's congruent in that figure. All right, I'm going to trust you did that. And you can tell in a parallelogram, the opposite sides are congruent. Those are congruent. Those are congruent. And the opposite angles look congruent, and they are. Okay. And now the parallelogram properties, all the sides are parallel. So both opposite sides are parallel. Okay, so the opposite angles are congruent, opposite sides are congruent. Go ahead now, pause me again, and mark what you think. Besides this, mark new stuff in this figure. What looks congruent? Okay, I'm going to trust you did that. First off, those are definitely congruent. Those are bisecting each other. And these are congruent. Now we know the vertical angles, so I'm not going to mark those, but look at this Z right here. Those two congruent. Those two angles would be congruent. And the backward Z as well. Those two. And even a sideways Z, because the parallelogram, because the sides are parallel, you got the backward Z and the other backward Z. So you got all kinds of stuff that's congruent there. And don't forget the vertical angles too, but I don't want to muddy the picture up anymore. But this chapter is all about parallelograms. I guess I should have a picture of what a parallelogram is. Opposite sides are parallel. So it has two pair of opposite sides parallel. Okay. So, and we just figured out the opposite sides are congruent, opposite angles are congruent. Now, what would be really nice for the angles that are not opposite from each other, like X and Y here, what would be a really nice thing for them to add up to? You guessed it, 180. If this angle X is 100, Y is 80. Those are the consecutive angles add up to 180. So just like so many things in geometry, they add up to 180, or they're equal in a parallelogram. So in this one, it says find all the missing sides and angles. Obviously 20, 18, 18, 65, across from that 65. And then to make 180, that'd be 115. Go ahead and do the next one on your own. Hope you did that. These would be 8 and 15. 120s for the opposite, and then 60s to make 180. So you also have some problems with some algebra in it. On this problem, these opposite angles are congruent, or opposite sides are congruent. So like 3x minus 2 equals x plus 18. So 2x equals 20. X is 10. If x is 10, 4 times 10 would be 40. Y is 40. The next one, again, you got to decide, are they equal or do they add up to 180? These are consecutive, so they add up to 180. So 5x plus 2x plus 12 equals 180. So 7x equals 168. Divide by 7. So 24, maybe? 24. Okay, go ahead and do this one. Hope you did that. But again, here you got x and a y and a z. You can't really combine all those, but these two right here are consecutive. They add up to 180. So 3z would equal 195. So z is 65. So this would be 130. 65 minus 15 is 50. So that we did it right. Those add up to 180. So 50 and 130. So x is 130, y is 50. Now the last thing about parallelograms, the diagonals bisect each other. These two are equal, those two are equal. And they're different because this obviously looks a little longer than this one. So what you do here, simply just say, okay, 2x plus 18 and x plus 40 are equal. x would equal 22. And here, 5y minus 16 would equal 3y. So y is 8. And 4x minus 2 would equal 2x plus 10. These are equal, so 2x would equal 12, x is 6. Now spend a little time to see if you how many of these things you can fill out in this entire picture. And this 68 is this whole angle. Okay, I'm gonna hope you did that. Now, some obvious things you can see, 26 opposite, that's 26, 24, and 24. 68, that whole thing would be 68, which means this whole thing is 112 to make 180, which makes this angle 59 and 53. So, what else? We got 14 here. Oh, we put 14 there, and 20.7, 20.7. I can find some more angles, but let's see what all they ask us for. They want PO, 24. O to Q, 14. N to O, NO, 26. PQ, P to Q, 20.7. Angle PMN, PMN. This whole angle would be this whole angle, which is 112. NOP, NOP, 112. OPM, OPM, 68. And NMO, NMO. Oops, see the Z there? So it'd be 59. All right. This is parallelogram stuff and the assignments in the back on page 14. Talk to you soon.